Do you remember the times the Universal Championship meant something? Do you remember the times when storylines mattered more than celebrity guests? I do. Welcome to another episode of Simon Says Wrestling. And today, we take a look at where it all went horribly wrong. Hit my music. Welcome to, I wouldn't say another exciting episode of Simon Says Wrestling. Welcome to another episode, and this week we're going to be doing something a bit different. It's been a hard couple of weeks in the WWE. It's been a hard couple of weeks. It almost feels like the show is unwatchable. It almost feels like there's nothing that's building up to the anticipation of what WrestleMania is. And I thought maybe we could discuss some of the points, some of the issues that we're seeing in the WWE at this point in time. And I want to know what your take is. I want to know what you feel went wrong, how it went wrong, and how it can be fixed. Me personally, this period has made me resent Cody Rhodes a whole lot. It has made me question the type of leadership that Cody Rhodes has to offer. And I'll get into the reasons why I feel that way. Why I feel that him getting back the Universal Championship from Drew McIntyre was the biggest mistake. I'll get more into that into this episode. Please don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Hit the notification button so you guys know when we do drop new content. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all for the engagement on social media. I must say my TikTok is doing fairly well compared to my other socials. So yeah, feel free to go to the social medias as well. It's at Simon Says Wrestling. Hit the follow button. Comment on all the videos you bump into. And let's talk more wrestling. So I feel that everything went south when Cody Rhodes got back the Universal Championship from Drew McIntyre. Now, with that being said, it's not a jab or in any way a shot at Cody Rhodes and his capability to lead the company, but I feel that where he is right now, he's not in the state to draw any tickets to any show. Cody Rhodes, to begin with, is not a draw. Cody Rhodes has never been a draw. Cody Rhodes has been the guy that depended on a bigger draw in the storyline to make sense of it. Now, obviously, that point can be argued in many ways, but I've said it before in a lot of my past videos. Cody Rhodes has never been able to hold a storyline. Cody Rhodes has never been able to tell a storyline. He has had his opponents tell it for him. Now, obviously, him being part of that storyline it's necessary. But he has had to rely on the person that he was in the story with to carry him. Cody Rhodes has never carried a feud. As much as you guys love him, as much as you guys feel that he is the quarterback of the WWE, at some stage he was. But he hasn't been able to carry a feud ever since he got into the WWE. Cody Rhodes is a great worker, but he's only a great worker when whoever he's in the feud with is, in a way, better. And everybody that Cody Rhodes has been in a feud with, they've been better than Cody Rhodes. The problem is, I don't think the WWE noticed the fact that in most cases, whoever was feuding with Cody Rhodes, they always wanted that person to win. The only ever time that I've actually ever rooted for Cody Rhodes was when he was going up against Roman Reigns to finish the story with his father. With that aside, he has never been able to carry anything. Even in that one, he was being carried by Roman Reigns and all the history of what the bloodline had built in the past 4 years or 2 years prior to that match. Roman Reigns' hard work carried Cody Rhodes through that feud. I don't like Roman Reigns either. I don't like his part-time tendencies. But Cody Rhodes has never been able to carry the story. Even when he came into the WWE, Seth Rollins had to carry him, had to carry what he was all about, and had to basically build Cody Rhodes from the bottom up. And Seth Rollins is one of the best to ever do it, ladies and gentlemen. And I've said it prior to my videos before. Seth Rollins can literally put on a match with a mop and make it a 5-star. That's how good Seth Rollins is. Roman Reigns is even better. Roman Reigns has managed to make himself into a huge deal in the WWE. And he carried Cody Rhodes. The bloodline carried Cody Rhodes into where he was. And immediately after he finished the story, that's where everything collapsed. Obviously, a superstar of his caliber, I wouldn't even call him a superstar, Cody Rhodes at this point in time. It's just a wrestler. It's just a wrestler who gives the extra mile and gives the extra push, because obviously it's his second time in the company and he doesn't want to make the same mistakes that he made before. Now, with that being said, first point is he could never carry a feud. Secondly, as much as we would like to argue this one, Cody Rhodes is not that good of a promo. He screams here and there, he shouts here and there, profanity here and there, but he's not someone that has ever stood toe-to-toe with anybody in a promo. Nobody that Cody Rhodes has ever gotten in a feud with had they ever been able to not outwork Cody Rhodes when it comes to a promo. Whether it was Kevin Owens, whether it was Seth Rollins, whether it was Roman Reigns, whether it was even Drew McIntyre. He's not a great promo. And for some weird reason, the WWE had it in its mind that, you know what, going into Mania, this is the guy that we're going to bet all our chips on. And their gamble failed. Prior to Cody Rhodes getting back the Universal Championship from Drew McIntyre, that title was relevant. The champion was relevant. Drew McIntyre didn't need to attack any celebrities. He didn't need to involve any celebrities in his ongoing onslaught to basically keep the title with him. All Drew McIntyre did was attack wrestlers and people that were focusing on his Universal Championship. Drew McIntyre was a fresh breath of air, given the fact that he didn't need anybody in his corner. He did all the dirty work himself, and he managed to make himself relevant once again and made the roster excited and hungry to go after the Universal Championship. That was when SmackDown was kicking on all cylinders. Drew McIntyre didn't need influence from outside. Drew McIntyre never aligned himself with any sort of celebrity to try and boost ratings to his feud. WWE should have noticed that Cody Rhodes can't carry the company anymore. And sadly, all that's left is residue from him finishing the story. He hasn't given us any new character developments. He hasn't even changed in the slightest of ways. When Drew McIntyre started costing Cody Rhodes matches, I was excited. I was like, oh, it's finally time for this man to face adversity in this company. It's time for him to actually struggle. Lo and behold, I was more incorrect than Vince McMahon's booking in 2019. They were getting ready to give him WrestleMania on a silver platter. They gave him WrestleMania on a silver platter. And ladies and gentlemen, that platter is just filled with nothing but celebrity guests and celebrity involvements in trying to make these celebrities seem more authentic to the brand. I will never respect Jelly Roll. I will never respect iShow Speed. I will never respect Little Yachty. I will never respect Pat McAfee in the sense of being WWE wrestlers. I respect them as the characters that they built outside because they put in the hard work for that. It was hard work to get to where they are. The level of stardom that they've achieved is immense. And anybody that can work as hard as they did to get to where they are deserves a bit of respect. But I cannot respect them for leeching onto the spot that is the WWE. They basically turned WWE into a spotlight for themselves. And I do not get it. I do not get what it benefits Jelly Roll to be in the ring. Do not get what it benefits I Show Speed. Obviously, I Show Speed has been dabbling in a lot of athletic events because he's very athletic, very well built, don't get me wrong. Pat McAfee used to be an announcer, color commentator in the WWE. Lelo Yari says he's been a fan for the longest of time. I don't know, but yeah, that's what he says. So these people have essentially turned WrestleMania into a chance for them to shine. The one thing that I just want to ask these people, in a sport like MMA, in a sport like boxing, when the two competitors have gone into press conferences, given their promos, given their thoughts on who they are fighting, how they're going to beat them, do these guys actually get involved in the boxing ring or in the MMA cage and help that fighter or help that boxer to win the match? And TKO being a lead company of everything that is WWE, if they can allow it in the WWE, why don't they just allow it in MMA and UFC and boxing? They can't, because this is a story between two competitors who are going in the ring, who do this for a livelihood. Them being there is an added bonus to draw the crowd. They don't go into the ring, they sit outside with the crowd, they watch the show and they enjoy it. Why can we not have the same principle involved in the WWE? Why can we not apply this to the WWE? What is so special? I'm gonna try to phrase this as nice as I possible. Wrestling is special, but what is it so like? What do they see in the WWE that makes them think that these people can actually go into the ring and carry out what these guys are doing on a daily basis? What is it? Do they think they can give better promos? Do they think they can take better finishing moves? Can they make better finishing moves at this point in time? What is it that makes WWE so disrespected by these celebrities to think that, you know what, this looks easy, I can go into the ring? It's not about you. It's never been about you. We would have never had to need celebrities if we had a champion that made the championship relevant. Has anybody been mentioning the fact that this match is actually for the Universal Championship? Or has it just been Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll's involvement going forward, even planning a backlash main event around these two guys? Because Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll don't like each other. If Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll do not like each other, good, ladies and gentlemen, it's fine. They can build a story around them, away from the Universal Championship. They don't need to be in the posters where we have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. They do not need to put Randy Orton at the back of the poster and Pat McAfee at the front, next to Cody Rhodes, who is the Universal Champion and who is doing a decimal job at making that title relevant. Cody Rhodes is the cause of everything that has been going wrong in the WWE. I do not understand why this company has so much faith in this man, when he has showed them time after time that he cannot carry this company. Cody Rhodes won the Universal Championship after he inserted himself. He politicked for this whole role. He politicked for the whole role at the backstage, finally got it, and managed to get himself in his claws around the Universal Championship. Imagine this. Imagine Cody Rhodes was never in the title picture and Drew McIntyre was still the Universal Champion. Drew McIntyre would be running rampant around that locker room. Randy Orton, Jacob Fatu would all want to be gunning for him. They can even add that bum Cody Rhodes because he needs to be added anyway to be carried into this whole feud. We would have had a fatal four-way. I was Like, I literally had no interest in seeing a Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania. But the way things are going now, I'd rather even watch a Fatal 5-Way for the Universal Championship than have Cody Rhodes being backed up by Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee in the corner of Randy Orton. Do you understand the stain that this leaves on a superstar's legacy? Randy Orton talked about legacy. Randy Orton talked about how he wants his legacy to be the number of titles that he has won. Have they not learned anything from the 17th greatest of all time, John Cena's legacy, with what happened at WrestleMania? John Cena's 17th was supposed to be magical. It was supposed to be historical. Ladies and gentlemen, it was supposed to be a unicorn. It was supposed to be looking at a shooting star going through the sky. Meteor showers. It was supposed to be heavenly. Unfortunately, it's not. It's been stained by Travis Scott. And this company that we love, that we've been watching for so long, after Travis Scott lets them down, we're supposed to side with them. How are we going to side with you guys when you're the one that brought him into the company? When you gave him so much responsibility? Yet you want us to go back and say, oh, Travis Scott is a doers. He's not supposed to do that. He's not supposed to do that. He would have never kept up in the ring. We all know he would have never kept up in the ring. That's why we did not want him involved in these stories. Now you've got Jelly Roll, who's semi-involved in the ring, needs to be carried, can barely last 15 minutes without blowing hot air. Pat McAfee went one-on-one with Gunther. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not a good wrestler. Neither is Jelly Roll. What are we doing? And at the end of the day, they are celebrities. They've got a huge fan base. But just because you listen to Jelly Roll's music doesn't mean you're going to enjoy his wrestling. Nor does it mean when you see him on wrestling, are you going to enjoy his music. Same goes for Lil Yachty. Pat McAfee, great sports commentator, great show. I think that's what you're good at, my good sir. Let's stick to hosting the shows. Speed, celebrity appearance here and there, it's fine. He's an athletic kid. He got his shine in the Royal Rumble. But for the fact that I Show Speed is in a triple threat match at WrestleMania with the Usos and LA Knight. LA Knight is in a tag team match at WrestleMania. Let that sink in. LA Knight is in a tag team match at WrestleMania. So now back to my point for Cody Rhodes and why he's basically the cause of everything that is going on. TKO would have never had to step in if people had as much interest as they did with the Universal Championship. And we had a lot of interest when Drew McIntyre was the title holder. I will not lie. I watched wrestling on a daily. I watched it completely. I understood what was going on. And I loved every moment of it. I was asking myself, what is Drew McIntyre going to do next week? Who is he going to screw over? And who does he actually want to face? Who is the right person to face Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania? This heel version of Randy Orton, what he did on the first night to Cody Rhodes, imagine him doing that to Drew McIntyre. And then suddenly realizing that, oh, damn, we've actually got heel Randy Orton in 2026. And he's going to go up against the heel Drew McIntyre. Baby faces are dead, ladies and gentlemen. Baby faces are giving out promos that feel like they're heels. And here we are, all of us, trying to build the next big baby face in Cody Rhodes, and he just keeps failing. Promos are one speech. Wrestling moves one-dimensional. Can't carry. Can't handle the pressure. What is WWE seeing in Cody Rhodes that we're not? What is it about this guy? Is it the fact that he left the company and then came back? I don't know. But I do not see what is so special about Cody Rhodes anymore. Shinsuke Nakamura is a better wrestler and a better storyteller than Cody Rhodes. Carmelo Hayes is a far better wrestler. Eli Dragunov. Should I go on? We're not talking popularity context. We're talking wrestling. And the names that I just mentioned put Cody Rhodes to shame. But he is who the company believes can carry it forward. For me, I don't see it anymore. I do not see Cody Rhodes as a main event level guy anymore. Cody Rhodes is a great add-on to any wrestling show. That's all he'll ever amount to. We can't build anything around Cody Rhodes because he needs help from celebrities. And ladies and gentlemen, TKO isn't doing us any favors. He can try and then say how much he doesn't like the decisions that are being made by TKO. But he's basically the champion. He's basically the poster boy. How can you not like the decisions that have been benefiting you your whole career ever since you got back to the WWE? How can you sit there and say that you don't like the fact that these people are being added to your match? If you were able to carry the match, if you were able to carry the story, we wouldn't have to add celebrities and we wouldn't have this Jerry Rowan and Pat McAfee issue going forward. Cody Rhodes is not a main event superstar, ladies and gentlemen. The sooner we can come to that, the better. The company, it's dying. It's turning into a fiesta of celebrities. And it's just so disappointing to see the game be where it is today. No pun intended. Also to Pinocchio age. They've failed. The creative team in the WWE at this point in time amounts to watching paint dry on a wall. Creative team in the WWE is as stale and as outdated as what Vince was back in 2019. They'll never match what Vince was doing back in 2019, but they're slowly catching up to the pace that he was going at. They are out of ideas. They are out of new storylines. They're out of new ways to make superstars. Johnny Gargano is still lying on top of a cardboard till this day. Danhausen has an element of freaky, spooky, ghostly sort of presence about him in a comedic sense. But they'll mess that character up sooner rather than later. They managed to do that with the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six are so down the drain and the toilet system that the only way that you're ever going to recover them out of that one is if you actually, some way, somehow, manage to make Uncle Howdy a serious character again. I don't see it happening. The work that Bray Wyatt has placed into introducing his brother into the WWE has gone down the drain. And they are just an afterthought now. And like I said before, we are going to be watching a repetition of storylines for the next 15 to 10 years, or whatever period that Triple H is in charge of this company. TKO, Triple H, Cody Rhodes are birds of the same feather. And they are messing that company up inside and out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that Cody Rhodes can handle the company, the responsibility of being the number one guy, or you feel just like I do. And honestly, I would love to review everything that's going on. But the only two things that have me excited for WrestleMania at this point in time is the fact that John Cena will be hosting Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Third thing, Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Three things that are actually keeping me interested in the WWE at this point in time. Will we continue to watch the product going forward after WrestleMania and how much they're gonna badly mess it up? Probably will. And in a video that I posted recently on my social medias, the wrestling, the roster and the WWE actually needs a Kendrick Lamar moment. Somebody needs to stand up for the WWE and its traditions. Somebody needs to stand up for the roster and say that enough is enough. Somebody needs to take back the culture of wrestling. I don't know who, because all the legends that are supposed to be talking about this one, well, they're all on podcasts and they're not even touching the story. They're not even going close to where the story is. They're not even stating the fact that Cody Rhodes can handle this. We can't rely on the OGs anymore. Somebody in that locker room has to stand up to this tyranny. Needs to stand up for the culture of wrestling. Needs to stand up for the superstars that give their bodies on a daily and weekly basis to entertain us as the crowd. And it needs to be established that all these celebrities are not like us. They are not like the WWE universe. They are not like the WWE fans. And they are not like the WWE wrestlers. They never will be. They will never put their bodies on the line 365. They will never miss their families. They will never go on tour the way that these guys are going to say, you know what, we're growing the sport of wrestling. We're willing to grow this brand by putting ourselves on the line, dedicating our whole lives from our 20s going into our 40s while still pushing the great sport that is the WWE. Nobody's standing up for it. Instead, we are all admiring the culture that's outside of the WWE and trying to take WWE superstars and make them celebrities. These guys are real life superheroes. Why are we taking them to the level of normal human beings and trying to get, friendship logos and friendship bonds and friendship with celebrities that have nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing to do with wrestling? Somebody needs to stand up for the sport. We, the fans, we see it. I don't know if the wrestlers see it, but we as fans see it. We see everything that's wrong. We see everything. We literally make these episodes and podcasts on a weekly basis, giving you ideas as to how to utilize some of these superstars. But all we are good for is for you to turn back, give us a huge middle finger in our faces and tell us that it doesn't matter what we think. You guys will do whatever you want to do. And when ticket sales are down, we are the problem. Maybe if we start hitting you guys in the pockets where it hurts the most, you will start to listen. Until then, we'll talk more wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. If you've made it this far to the end of this episode, please hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what your thoughts are in everything that is done. I solely, my opinion, I blame Cody Rhodes for all of this. Who do you blame? Who do you place at the forefront of everything that's wrong with the WWE in this point in time? Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, peace.